Welcome back to the Desert Workshop. The flag is not backwards. If anybody knows about video, it's the correct way. Anyway, welcome back to the Desert Workshop. Today I decided I'm going to do a video on how to change a fuel filter. Well, actually there's two fuel filters in the Dodge 3500. It's a diesel vehicle. On your regular vehicles, your gasoline vehicles, there's usually only one fuel filter. And hopefully your fuel filter is not in your tank, because if it's in your tank, you might want to take that one in. I used to do this for a excavation company. Well, that's a good word to say this early in the morning. Excavation company. I used to change fuel filters, oil filters, hydraulic fluid, all that kind of stuff. It wasn't so bad when I was doing it, and I had this big giant fuel truck, and it was really simple. But doing it at home, it's a little bit different. I have to find a place to drain it, and then I have to find a place to dispose of this stuff. So I don't know if I mentioned it in my last video with the when you change your oil, just take it down to AutoZone. That's the one I always use. Your used oil down to them, dispose of it properly. Don't put it down a drain. Just saying. I'm going to change the front fuel filter first and the rear fuel filter second. Of course, that would be the second one. Anyway, hope you enjoy this video. Like, subscribe, tell all your friends, all that neat stuff. So I don't have to say this at the end. I'm just going to say it in the beginning. Of course, you're going to need some safety equipment. Remember, you're going to have your gloves because diesel fuel tends to soak into your pores and you smell like it for long periods of time. And I know a lot of people are going to go, "Oh, you're such a wuss." Well, no, I'm not. My wife doesn't like the smell, so happy wife, happy life. You also want your safety glasses because when you're underneath, you don't want that dripping in your eye. Had it in my eye, it doesn't feel real good. And you'll need a drain pan because you're going to lose some fuel. You're going to have to drain some out, and that's about it. Well, okay. And I'll go through all the tools that you're going to need as you're taking the parts. Yeah. Anyway, let's get into this. All right. So tools used for this particular install of the front fuel filter. I used the Phillips head just to, I could have done it by hand to release that little yellow valve. I just made sure that I could do it with the Phillips too. It's got a Phillips head on her. The 28 millimeter socket. Did my extension with my swivel and then another extension on that. So this went down like this. And then I have my 1/2-inch ratchet like that. This was used to take off the gasket. Yeah, you can actually use one of those little screwdrivers or something. All right, the one thing that I was having trouble finding is the proper one for the Dodge 3500. So it took a lot of resources, so I'm gonna put it all right here so you'll know. Let me zoom in on this so you can see a little bit. Oh, that's way zoomed in. All right, right there. So this one's for the front one, and it is the MO291. And then this one is for the rear. All right, so for this next part of the video, this is going to show how well I can film. And we all know this is not the best in the world filmer. All right. Oh. Sorry, as you saw off the camera, I was actually skating on a board. Anyway, let's go. Here is the zoom in from the top. And we're gonna go down. We're gonna go past the transmission fluid. And we're gonna go right there. See if you can see that. The yellow right down there. We're gonna relieve that valve so it drains out what's inside the filter right now. So that's the next step. Boy, that's not in focus, but there actually is yellow. I've seen them black, but you just want to turn that, and let's put this camera down. I gotta find a better angle for this. So this is kind of the setup that I have for this. The 28 millimeter socket sits right down there on that black cap that you see. And then I have a swivel going into I think it's an 8-inch extension, and then I have another 3-inch or 1.5 inches, 3 inches extension. And that's how you can turn it off. Let's see if I can do this with one hand. Yeah. It's really not that tight. It's just, it's diesel. And it, on rubber, tends to stick a little. Let me go ahead and get this off. There we go. Okay. It really wasn't hard. Let me pull this off. Twist it by hand.
So if there's any surprises in here, yeah, you hit in here. Oh, still have to something. Okay, pull that out. And squeeze it here. Okay, this truck is too tall for me.
Well, there's your filter.
Alright, so here's the, see if we get that front filter. And it just pulls out. I mean, ain't that bad. I don't know why we only have 20%. I must have been using really good fuel, huh? We'll see. There's some stuff right here on the other side, so the fuel filter's actually doing its job. Alright, there we go. I guess it hadn't completely drained out. Alright, I'm gonna turn this off.
As you can see, it fits nice and tight in there. It only goes in one way. And our next step is to put the black cap back on. And tighten it down. This one, which is different than most, actually gives you 30.5 nanometers or whatever. What is it? I'm gonna look up what NM means. It's not nanometers, that's electronics. But there it goes on. I'm gonna tighten this down and we'll be ready for, and then remember to turn to focus. Close the yellow one again. You might as well do that right now that you're thinking about it. And it says open and close. So make sure you do the close. That's open. And this is close. Closes towards the driver's side. Welcome to the underside of my truck again. This is the rear fuel filter. It's right next to the drive shaft and right next to the fuel tank. But it's pretty much the same way, except you're working with all the fuel above your head, which is so much fun. But I just wanted to clarify, NM is Newton meters, not nanometers. I don't know why I was thinking electronics rather than Newton. Anyway, I don't know why they call it Newton, but hey, that's just what they do. So I'm gonna drain out, which here's the drain, the fuel cock right here. Yes, that's what it's called. The fuel cock, I'm gonna turn that so it will drain out the fuel into the bucket, and then I will take off the filter. This is extremely difficult to get some filming through here because every time I put it down on the ground, you get this view. Oh, that's nice. Or you could have the exhaust pipe, one of the two. But, so I'm gonna try to do this with one hand once I get some of this done. I'm gonna try to find a tube to fit onto the valve, the cock, the drain cock, and drain it into the bucket. All right, so got the tubing on there and it's draining down into the bucket. It's not a very fast flow, but boy, that's shaky. Sorry. Guess I just sit here and wait. So how's your day? I'll give you one cautionary tale. The little valve that you can unscrew that actually all the way, and then it's going to come squirting out the side. No, I did not do that. But it will open it up a little bit more, go a little bit faster. But there's a sweet spot. You don't want it too far, or it's going to pour out the left side of that fuel filter. So right now we got it pretty much drained. So I'm going to get the 28mm socket on there, and we're going to loosen this one. I got it loose, but as you can tell, there's still more in it. So I just paused before it's all the way undone. Try to protect myself. guess I should have had a bigger pan for this one. This one's a mess. Okay. Yeah, it definitely will need to be cleaned under here. Oh, there you go. So this is what the inside of it looks like. Hopefully I'm not getting diesel on my phone. But, so it only goes on one way. You're gonna put this in because it has a, see if we can get this without killing. There we go. It only goes on one way, so you just want to slide that up in there. There you go. You learn something new every day. Put the filter in first. Don't do what I did, because it won't work. Because it won't turn. All right. So let's make sure. Yes, I'm using the phone to see. All right. Let's make sure that's good. The back one, it actually stops where you need it. Don't crank it any further than it natural stop. And what I like to do is just wipe it down with a shop rag, especially on the drive shaft. I know I'm gonna wash the underside, but it's nice. So now let's go start it. So we're gonna have to prime these filters for a second and we'll see how it goes. All right, one rule of thumb, make sure you got everything out of your engine compartment. Any kind of tools that you may have used, it just saves you a lot of heartache. So let's go in here and prime it. Make sure you're not like full of diesel. All right, so the key fob's in here. Hear the clicking. It's gonna preheat, which, let's see, not off. Yeah, the engine is flashing. You can hear it. Over the beep, you can actually hear it. There. All right, let's see. Wow. Okay. Yep, that's what I thought. I was like, there's no way it's gonna start the first time. Lights are on. Okay, I've never seen that before. Priming it. That's not bad at all to start that quickly. And yes, I know, as you can see my tire PSIs right now, that's not right. I don't know why this computer says it's like that. My fronts are 80, my backs are 65. I don't over trust those. I call them idiot gauges. But that's not bad to start that quickly. Let's see what it does. Yep. Takes a little bit longer than normal. That's acceptable. That's how you change the fuel filter on a Dodge 3500. It works the same for the 15 and the 2500. Well, 2500 I know, for the front and rear like that if it's diesel. Hopefully you enjoyed this and you got something out of it. If you have any questions or any of the tools that were used, I'm going to try to put them in the description, and I'll get the correct measurements. It all depends on your type vehicle, on the extensions that you use on your ratchet. So, oh, yes, I'm sorry. There's one more thing I wanted to do. All right, let's see. There you go. I guess you have to have it running to do the fuel filter one. Not running if it's the oil one. Interesting. And it only goes to 99%. It won't go to 100, even though it's brand new. But it's running like a champ, so that should be good. One thing I wanted to add on this is the rear fuel filter. So the front one wasn't that bad, but this rear one picked up most of it. So it was really doing its job. So I'm happy with that. I didn't have any problems out of the fuel. And so I guess the fuel wasn't so great after all. Oh well. All right, so we're gonna close this one out and gonna clean the bottom of my car. Thank you.